Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Monday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole, Everett, your host. Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to have a conversation, an interactive conversation. And tonight we are talking about faith, keeping the faith, and specifically Black men keeping the faith. So June is Men's Health Month, and our focus all month has been on Black men and their mental health. So if you will, in the comments, and I see a few of you already chiming in, which I absolutely love, please let us know what city and state you are tuning in from, and tag a friend, call them, text them, let them know they need to be right here for this conversation. So I see you, Javon, even though you didn't put anything in the comments, I know you're there. Welcome. Thank you for being here from the ATL. And hey there, Chief Terrell is here, based here right in Tallahassee. So thank you for being here. So tonight, let me give a shout out to Mom from Miami. Hey, Mom, thanks for being here. So tonight we got the closer with us, Mr. Ozzie Daniel, who is no stranger to Conversations with Nicole. Last month, Ozzie had us all caught up into not sleeping on sleep. And so tonight he is going to talk about keeping the faith. And again, we are talking specifically to Black men. So I see a few more of you. So let me give you some love. Hey there, Marcus Boston, who is not in Boston, but is in Chicago. Hey there, Dr. Carla. She was here last week. Thank you so much for being here right here in Tally Ho. Hey there, Tracy, Golay, and Miss Lisa Love and Tally. Mr. Raymond, Cousin Raymond in Newport News, and Miss Linda Lloyd. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And hey there, Pumpkin. I see you here too, sis. Thank you for being here. So I am going to read Ozzie's bio for those of you who may not be familiar with him. He is a regular on Conversations with Nicole. If he's not on the screen, he is in the comments, adding some thoughtful commentary and sometimes some funny commentary. So for those of you who don't know him, you just want to find out a little bit about him before I bring him on, and you can experience all the greatness for yourself. So Ozzie Daniel is a servant leader enriched in life coaching. He served in the Navy for 20 plus years. Thank you for your service. And for the past 7 years, he says he spent 7 years of his life out to sea. He served in Iraq, Afghanistan. He's also played and coached softball during those travels. After he earned his bachelor's of arts in psychology, and then he got his master's of science in leadership. During the time working on his master's, he started working in the field of healthcare at a psychiatric center, and then as a contractor as a case manager for Virginia Support Services, as a family clinician coordinator, mental health skills builder working with adults. He is a qualified mental health professional, and he is spirit led. Uh, and I'm gonna read you what he says here in his bio. He says, "I gladly have supported faith-based platforms, enlightening, teaching, encouraging, and sharing insight on the Word of God in relevant areas of living and how it applies in our lives spiritually, physically, and mentally." So, y'all, help me welcome Mr. Ozzie Daniel.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Wow, Nicole, I tell you, I need to shorten that up a little bit so we're about two-liner, right?
All good, Ozzy.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome
Yes, welcome,
to
welcome.
another evening on the Monday night, not Monday night football yet, of Conversation with Nicole. So I guess we'll be countdown till August, right?
Yes. Look, August. What's happening in August?
Uh, yeah, preseason
Oh,
starts.
football. That's
Yeah.
okay. I got you. I got you. All right. Focus, Ozzy. Focus.
Oh yeah, we here. We are here.
Okay. All right. So tell the people who may not know who you are. Who is Ozzy Daniel? Not what you do, because I just told them what you do. But who
Mm,
is Ozzy Daniel?
yes. The funny thing about this is when you ask someone, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop for that moment and think, you know, and really gather all of that information about yourself to just put it in a couple sentence. But I believe that I'm an evolving human being because every 10 years I'm experiencing something brand new that I never knew or learned about myself. So it's always good to keep an open mind on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pops, a friend, a brother, and I also like cooking. Not love cooking, but I like cooking. So I think it's quite therapeutic. So I have learned many dishes, discover many dishes, and experience many dishes, and I just have fun about it. So that's something new that I'm sharing this time. So every month I would try to show or share something that I did not share before.
Okay. I like that. I
You
like
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm an active learner, active learner, and I love learning, never put a lid on it.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So hopefully, you will are amongst other life learners,
Yes.
and we're gonna learn together,
We will
right?
learn together and grow together, plant seeds together,
For sure,
water together,
for sure.
and grow a forest together, right?
Okay, Lord, here you forces. Anyway, bring it back, Ozzy. Bring it back.
Okay, we're here, you know.
All right,
Um,
so we are going to dive into the topic of faith.
mhm.
Um, but before we do that, of course, I have to read my disclaimer since I have a professional on here. Now, I don't want you all to get confused and thinking this is therapy. It's not. I know it can be therapeutic and helpful, but all topics, past, present, and future, on Conversations with Nicole are for informational purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or an answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program. All righty, I said it. So, faith,
Yes.
faith, faith,
Hey,
faith.
what about it,
What
right?
is faith? What is faith?
Whoa.
I'm gonna start by asking the viewers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to start it out right
Okay.
there.
Here
What
we
they
go.
think about faith. What is faith to them?
Yeah.
I have to realize sometimes that it's a conversation, and I tend to really get all into it and start
Mm,
flowing. So I'm trying to pace myself and
okay.
be a good listener and reader and, share
All
the thought.
right.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. All right, so y'all, we asking you all at home or wherever you are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, what is faith? In the comments, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. We're waiting to hear from you. Tell us, what is faith? What is faith? I need some Jeopardy music right now.
Dun, 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 dun.
Come on, what's faith, y'all? What's faith? Let us know. What is faith? What is faith?
What is faith to you?
What is faith to
How
me?
do you define faith?
Ooh, I define faith as the substance of things hoped for, right?
Mm,
The evidence of things not seen.
right.
Uh,
Hebrews 11:1. Right.
hmm All right. My sister Shayla said, belief in what you can't see or understand.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? What you can't see or understand. That's good. Mm-hmm. Y'all mighty quiet out there tonight.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna.
We moving a little slow. Come
uh,
on, y'all. Wake it up.
yeah, I know there's a whole lot of churchgoers and saving, sanctified, and all that good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Different religion, different background, even some atheists.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, okay. Well, Ozzie, you tell us, what is faith?
Okay, so I guess everyone is sitting back waiting to see, okay, what they're going to absorb,
Uh-huh.
and what they're going to learn about it, right?
Right.
So, faith.
Okay, hold on. Vanessa just chimed in.
Okay.
Faith is seeing light with your heart when your
Mhm.
eyes may often see darkness. Ooh,
Oh, okay.
that's good.
That's,
Yeah, yeah, that is.
you put a little heart to it next to it.
Uh-huh. All
All
right. Thank you, Vanessa.
right. All right.
Cool. All right. What you got, Ozzie?
What I got. Okay. Now, faith is something that you have to really, really be careful about, but you have to be open about to understand because faith is always now, present, and it is spirit. Just like love is spirit, faith is spirit. But the thing is about with faith, without it, you're unable to really activate your consciousness and subconsciousness into reality.
Hmm.
So you have to actually understand that it's not just a prayer or just believing on the unknown, but you have to actually understand that it's more to life and it's a external excellence that actually give you life, power, and action. And the most important thing is the impulse of thought.
Okay.
So faith is a frame of mind. It's a mindset.
Hmm.
And with that mindset, everything that originates and vibrate from that thought into words is actually what's going to come up to pass. So you don't see it, but your words alone will bring it to life. So you have to understand that even during that whole entire time, as Nicole was saying, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So therefore, faith is the assurance. It's like the sealed deal. It is the final touch to everything, but yet you can't see it or touch it. But when you do see it manifest into reality, it have to come from the source. So where's the source coming from? The
Hmm.
source come from the originator of it himself, which is God Almighty or the infinite one. So it take the infinite and the finite one, which is man, to actually bring it into reality.
Okay. That was kind of deep, Ozzie.
Yeah, so really and truly, it's a state of mind.
A state of
Really
mind.
and truly, let's keep it, if we want to keep it simple to the point that we all could articulate it to a degree, it is a state of mind, which
Okay.
is induced by auto suggestion. And
You
the
said,
auto suggestion is based on the subconsciousness,
okay. So you
right?
said auto suggestion?
Auto suggestion. That means we are always thinking,
Mm-hmm.
whether we're sleeping or we up, we're always thinking. So whatever you're thinking, you have to be in tune with your own thoughts, because if you're not in tune with your own thoughts, it really could direct you into a whole different realm, because the induce into the auto suggestion, that means you think it, you're going to feel it, the emotions is going to come with it, and the subconsciousness is going to bring it out into the consciousness, into reality. So that's why it's so important to think positive and speak positiveness and words of affirmation all the time, as much as you could do it. Because what that does, it take the positiveness and really subdue the negativity.
Okay.
So the more negative someone speak, actually, it's still going to work the same way, because the subconsciousness is not going to really take a side of, oh, this is positive, this is negative.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to take whatever you put into it, is going to magnify it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a faith. That's why, in the word it also said that without faith it is impossible to please God,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the only way God is moved is by faith. So, what is our thoughts? Is it aligning to His word? Is it aligning to what principles is all about? Because if it's not aligning, basically, it may be taking you to a whole different direction and directing your life to a different place than the blueprint that He actually originated for you.
Amen. All right.
So that's faith.
Okay.
Faith
So,
right there is really the substance of things hoped for. So
mhm.
I will use you as an example, Nicole, right? Before we actually come on this stage, right?
Huh?
This was not birth just like tonight. This was probably birth within, or in your dreams, in your thoughts, in your wishes, in your hope, in
Huh.
your desire many years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but it didn't just show up. This is actually becoming the manifestation of a thought, of an idea, right?
True.
So with that idea, now the thought became a substance by repeating it over and over and over. So
Mm-hmm.
what we repeat over and over and over, it will magnify itself, because it got to get seeded.
So let me ask you this, and
Mhm.
not to get too deep, but would you
Okay.
would you say that our thoughts are
Mhm.
energy?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's vibration,
Uh-huh.
whether it may be positive, whether it may be negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vibration. It's a frequency. So whether the negativity is always low, low, low frequencies. Positivity is higher frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the negative really could do more chaos, because it's more darkness
Mm-hmm.
in there. There's no light in there,
Mm-hmm.
But whatever we repeat over and over and over, basically, it will eventually magnify itself. That's why also in the word, it says, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing and acceptable in thy sight, O Lord God, my Redeemer. Right? But it's a reason for that. It's not about being religious. It's not about being all kind of different denomination. But whatever our words are, it will dominate our mind, to the point that now we're living out what we are saying. We are creating our own life by our own words.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be someone that go to church, or someone that, it doesn't matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Your words going to create your own life. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, a positive minded person will never feel comfortable around a negative person.
Mm-hmm.
who continuously speak negative. Why? Because it just don't mix.
So Maya also is agreeing. She said we literally have the power to do so much through the words we speak.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And that's the main ingredient that I'm going to dive in tonight, because tonight is Mindset Monday. So I have to really align what faith is to Mindset Monday, because it's a mindset, it's a frame of mind, and
Mhm.
it's a state of mind. But the thing is about faith is this: it's always now and it's always present.
Okay.
Always now and always present. You may not see it, because that's how faith works. You may not see it literally happening.
Mm-hmm.
You can't touch it physically, but there's a manifestation. There's something that is being created into the elixir, in the ether, that is really taking place, that bringing it into manifestation. And everything starts from within.
Okay.
Everybody look for outside to say, oh, look what's going on outside. Look what's going on over here. Look what's going on over there. But really, we need to check on what's going on inside of us.
Indeed.
Because if we focus within ourselves, now we'll be able to bring out harmony. The war don't start outside, it starts from inside. It
Yeah.
starts in the mind. Everything. So that's where faith is seated at.
Indeed.
But if we don't know that, we don't know how to utilize it and act upon it and let it work for us.
Okay. No, that's good stuff. So Michael Cork is on. Thanks, Cork, for being here. He said, "Fact words give directions to the mind, but the heart gives directions to the mouth."
Right.
I like that. And Camille said, "Faith is speaking what you seek until you see what you said."
Absolutely. Yes, you're
Mhm.
on the right track, and that's exactly what it is. And that's why you think people pray.
Mhm.
I don't know, things some people just pray because they just doing it out of religious, but when you pray and you say it over and over, it's getting seeded more into the subconsciousness in your mind. And then it is really, the work is actually taking place within ourselves, and we don't know how powerful we are, because when we understand how powerful we are from within,
Mhm.
now we'll be able to speak those words into life. And that's why, you know, Jesus Christ actually came and set the path. He didn't came to set the path of like all these different ideologies that came about. He really came to teach us how to live and walk by faith.
Okay. Yes. That
But
makes
we had to change our mindset, repent, and change our mindset so we could be able to live this life out in victory, live this life out in abundance, live this life out walking in authority. Not saying, oh, I'll wait till I get to heaven. When I get to heaven, I will see. No, life starts now, because faith is always now,
Mhm.
And once we get to understand that, it will change our imagination. It will change our creativity in everything that we're doing. Just like a
Yeah.
criminal. If a criminal keep on, he actually say, okay, I'm going to steal this,
Mhm.
and he successfully go and steal it. Now it's going to resonate with him and say, I must. I guess I could do this again.
I can do this again.
And then he keep on doing it, and now he started to build up a life of crime. That is faith. He just used faith, but he using it in the wrong dimension.
Okay.
And we're going to lead him is going to lead him right where he needed to be at, locked up, right?
Right.
So in the same way, if we understand, we could take that positivity and speak those words into action,
Mhm.
speak it into action, and practice doing that. Now we actually sowing seeds to the point that we're building to the point that we actually going to have a forest, because the only thing faith's supposed to do is multiply.
Mm.
So if we're now walking together and thinking about others in the same token, in whatever we plan to do, it's actually not going to work. It will not be successful.
So this sounds kind of law of attraction-y to me.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Your words, whatever you think of, so is he.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you think of, so you will attract.
Okay.
It is a powerful thing. That's
is.
why sometimes stillness is a key. It's best if we sit down and be still and actually allow our mind to really settle, so everything that needs to be flowing through us will flow through us.
Okay.
But if we're picking up this door, entering this door, entering this door, now we're into a whole bunch of doors. Now we can't really operate in faith, because faith is now, and it's not all separated. Separation is what actually start bringing chaos.
Yeah, it sounds very divided.
Very divided.
Okay. So Self-Love said The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Murphy is a read, she said. And then Solomon had a question. He said, when do we realize that the things we are praying for is just not meant to be? What are the signs?
That's a very, very good question.
Okay.
Now, one thing I will say about that, when we pray, is it selfish? Is it selfless? Is it about uniting and creating harmony? Is it about unifying others to a degree of bringing others to a place of understanding? Is it a way of really seeking within our own self the true fruits that's within us, or giftings that is within us to actually touch the world? Because sometimes our prayer could be quite selfish, and if it's not on faith in reaching out for others and helping others and uniting others, it's just not going to work. Sometimes we just need to change it up, you know. If we read the Lord's Prayer, actually, it never just sink on just one individual. It's always about alignment, to aligning ourselves to do what's right and live righteously, so we could be able to benefit others in everything that we do. Because, life is about not about how much we could get, but it's all about how much we could give.
Right.
So are we praying so we could be a blessing? Are we praying so we could make it, so we could sit on top of everyone and look down upon others? Because sometimes it could be quite selfish if we really listen to it.
Yes. Okay. So, but so are you suggesting, because Solomon asked, what are the signs that
what are the signs? Really and truly, the signs. Okay.
Yeah, so he's saying, when do we realize that the things we are praying for is just not meant to be? What are the signs?
Well, one of the questions will be, what are you praying for? Because if you are praying for something, and what it is it really, really something that you may have to wait for and be patient for, so it could materialize in due time? Because in prayer, it really takes patience. You have to have patience, because that's the thing about faith. You have to believe in it and keep speaking it until it actually manifests itself. But the signs will be, there'll be a guide. There'll be a guide.
Okay.
There'll be a guide. You will see things coming together. You will see some type of, you know, I won't say something come from heaven. You will actually be able to make that connection. You'll be able to sense it within your own being that it is connecting. So you'll actually, as you grow, you will actually know how to wait. Now, if you're acting off of impulses, now you're going to create your own prayer.
So now you're talking about a level of self-awareness, correct?
Right.
Okay. Because in order for you to tap into that and sense that, you definitely have to be self-aware and in tune with whether or not it's something that's coming from you or from God or from the enemy, a negative source, right?
Right. Well, I
So
really
there's
think,
got to be some type of ability to hear or sense, you know, what's kind of going on there.
right. Well, I have to really say how positive your prayer is, because there's no limitation to the mind, but to acknowledge it, So is it leading to abundance? Is it leading to poverty? Is it leading to, your own, what's your thought? It all come down to that thought, because sometimes, we may say, okay, I want to have a skyscraper. Now there's work that will have to come along into that skyscraper. There's a lot of connection that will have to take place with engineers to make that happen and resources to make that happen. So is it realistic? And if it do happen, what's the purpose for it? Prayer always have to align with purpose.
Okay.
Always have to align with purpose. Is it in his will? And now, is it your purpose to be fulfilled within that criteria?
Okay.
So these are the things that we need to think about, because it's really the thoughts.
So Brother Hassan is on here. He's out of Pensacola. Thanks for being on here. He said our prayers must line up with the will of God for our lives.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I want to just pause here for those of you who may be just joining us. I have Mr. Ozzie Daniel on here, and he is based in Virginia Beach, Virginia, a qualified mental health professional. And we are talking about keep the faith, Black man. So we need to get to the Black man part, right? I want to hear from the Black men that are on the line about faith. And is it difficult for Black men with the challenges that you've been faced with? And I'm talking to not only Ozzie, but the Black men that are on here to have faith in just the society, being a Black man in America. You see images of Black men being treated as less than, being oppressed, being profiled, Black men not loving on one another. So, is it difficult for Black men to have faith in 2022?
All right. See what the audience say,
I want to hear
and
from
I
y'all.
will, I will chime in.
I'm shifting the conversation because I want to know. That's part of this. That's part of this talk today. Keep the faith, Black man. Because I tell you, I think if I was a Black man, I would be a little discouraged by some of the things that I see in the media, in the community, in relationships. So, all right, Solomon.
Oh, hello, Solomon.
With self-reflection, are what you believing in or have faith in is a reality, or are we being selfish as Black men? Good question. Good question. Good question. Some of the history of this country as it relates to Black men has again been that Black men are not responsible, that they, don't take care of their families and their children, that they are promiscuous, and that they are aggressive and angry and all of these things, right?
Right. And I think one of the reason why all of these is coming about that will allow and cause a man to lose faith, especially a black man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me see what he's saying.
Alonzo says, as for me and my house, because I place my faith of God, I'm given understanding from a spiritual perspective as to how to exist in this life or world.
And you see, that is the right mindset to have. Okay. And with that mindset, now it crystallized within him and within his mind, this is a path I'm going to walk no matter what. So now he make a concrete decision and a concrete choice that this is how me and my house we're going to walk. So now they are all walking together and they're in agreement. So if they're in agreement, that means there's unity.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but one of the reasons why I believe that we black men that have suffered a lot and the things that we have gone through throughout history, even to the time now that we still feel like we got to prove ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
is this thing called lack of self-confidence. And I think once you lose that self-confidence, now you are going to be fighting for the rest of your life. You will be walking all kind of paths and all kind of avenues trying to find yourself. And until you find yourself in that right place and have that self-confidence again and be able to stand upright, your faith will not be complete. So where do we look at and where do we face at is actually going back to the source.
Okay.
Going back to the source. And that source is the light. That source is God. That light is the infinite one.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote this down in my notes about what faith is. Faith is the element, the chemical in which, when mixed with prayer, give one direct communication with the infinite intelligence. And that is the creator. Because if we don't actually come to that place of understanding that, we will not be directed in the right path that we need to be walking in. We will struggle because guess what? There always going to be competition, and that's a divider. And most black men these days, we always trying to compete. We always trying to keep up with this. Oh, I got to get this. I got to get this latest brand. I got to get this latest car. I have to do this so I could look important. But you should already know that you are self-sufficient already. You are significant in God's sight. And if we don't learn to understand what faith is all about in the real form, not knowing that if we shift, we actually going to be shaken all the time. Then we will not know how to run our house right. We'll not know how to educate our family and be a leader in our home.
Okay.
But it'll really start from faith because, as I stated before, it is a state of mind.
All right.
It is a state of mind. So therefore, we have to get out of all of these barriers that we setting up for our own self and really go within and do an inside work.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I always know, being number one is an odd number. It is an odd number being number one. So therefore, if we don't understand being odd sometime, it's okay when the whole crowd is not on our side. Because if you have a frame of mind that you are really convicted from within, that you're going in the right direction, guess what? It may take a little time for others to catch on, but you don't lose sight of your vision. You don't lose sight of your dream. And I think that's what happened. A lot of us lose sight of our own dream and vision. We stop dreaming because we don't put ourselves in the right position to dream.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna bring up. I'm gonna bring up Warren's comment for just a moment, and then I'm gonna address. I want to talk about Solomon's comment.
Okay.
Next. He has another comment. So Warren said, "My faith is as strong as it's ever been. I've learned to do what's best in thought, feed, action, and words. I've also learned everything I'm doing and have faith in is because I know my calling and purpose in life. I'm not walking by faith in things that God doesn't give me in our quiet, I think he meant quiet times. Because if I'm in faith or anything that doesn't come from is null and void." So what I got from that, and more, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're not putting your faith in things, but in God.
Hmm.
All right. So, and thank you for sharing that, Warren. Warren is right
Yeah.
here in Tallahassee. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
being on tonight. All right. So Solomon said something that I think is it actually a question that I want to hear from you, Ozzy, as well as the folks that are watching. He said, "My dear sister Nicole, you already know my stance on the topic. What affects black men today is a drop in the bucket of
Hmm.
what our fathers and grandfathers faced in the past. Lynching was literally legal and open to the public, on top of them dealing with what we deal with today." So that causes me to to question whether or not, because that's what Solomon is saying is, very real, that lynching was the order of the day, and
Right.
very common in decades past. So do you think that the men of today, the black men of today, are maybe a bit more not as strong minded as the black men of yesterday or in past generations? Um, Maybe there's more of maybe a more lackadaisical kind of attitude, you know, because maybe we are feeling or sensing that we're walking in greater freedom.
That could go several ways.
It could.
Yeah, it could really go several ways. And I think one of the biggest thing that really, really hurt us in such a way is the prejudice,
Hmm.
you know, towards us as black men. Like, you are fearful of us. Do you even take time to get to know us? But because of your frame of mind and
Hmm.
your thinking and your strategy to enslave, which is unrighteous and have no justice to it, that by itself really signify the weakness. That's what it shows, the weakness of them and the controlling authority that they are not living by.
Hmm.
And they're using all kind of different wordings or styles to delegate whatever they want to achieve.
Hmm.
But is it unity, as I spoke about earlier? Is it about bringing others together? No, it's not. It's about segregation. And where there's segregation, there's chaos. Where there's division, there's going to be chaos. And there's no unity in it. But whereas a black man, if you have faith in God, now I believe. Now, faith is what you believe in. What do you believe in? What's your belief in? If you don't have belief in your own self, nobody gonna believe in you.
Hmm.
If you don't think that you are significant, nobody gonna think you're significant.
Hmm.
Even if I have to die because I believe I'm significant, but yet someone can't see that, well, guess what? Their blood will be on their hands. Why? Because I am standing on my own word. I am standing on what I believe in.
Hmm.
So we have to understand that our own thoughts is really going to direct us. But if we could come together as a unit, come together and speak with each other and believe in each other and not a competition with each other,
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll be able to unify. But you see, in the past, they caused so much separation and actually degrade the black man so much that now he cannot even, it's harder for him to even have that confidence.
Mm.
But I would say this, that's even now, you should even have greater confidence in God and don't even say he don't exist. Because once you believe that he exists and you believe his presence is within you and he is breathing through you and you have the breath of life within you, I guarantee you these changes are going to come. You probably be used as an instrument to actually bring about different changes. But if you don't believe and you don't have faith within yourself because we allow someone else to take it away from us, that's our fault.
Mm. So Keisha said something that I think lines up with your comment. She said a lot of our upbringing is traditional in general. We lost ourselves to life instead of Christ. We lost ourselves to life instead of Christ. Then we fight part of life trying to find out who we are. No correction, no construction.
Mhm.
Repeat.
Repeat and repeat.
Yeah.
Yes, totally agree with that. And
Mhm.
and that's why I would say this personally about myself. I grew up in a wonderful Christian home. And my mom and dad, they are believers. They are, you know, faithful in everything that they do. And I watch my parents bring me up in the house. But at the same time, when I left home, I had to start doing my own thinking and I had to go through my own experiences and I had to learn. Yes, I had a foundation there for me, but yet I had to make sure that it was no limit.
Mm.
I had to make sure there's not a lid on it. Some things was very difficult for me to understand at times.
Mhm.
But you know what I came and do? I start seeking God for myself. Why? Because I wanted to understand, why am I here? What is the purpose I'm here for? And what I'm supposed to bring out while I'm living here. Now, once I did that, I started getting educated even more. I started studying. I started being directed inwardly
Mm.
of what I should be doing and what I need to be doing. So therefore, I didn't let no kind of distraction distract me from my purpose of what I need to be doing. Now, it took time. It took a lot of lessons that I had to learn from it, but I see growth and more it makes me concrete within my own mind, within my own soul, and that's where confidence start to come about. Why? Because I start to learn that I walk by faith, not by sight. So that means once I am practicing and I'm applying what I'm learning and the knowledge, applying it, now I'm seeing faith working for me. So it doesn't matter where I go, I don't walk in fear. I
Mhm.
don't care where I'm sitting at. I may be a raisin in a bowl of cornflakes. I fear not
Mhm.
because I know where my confidence is at.
A raisin in a bowl of cornflakes. Okay,
Right.
that's a new analogy. But all right, Ozzy. No, yeah, but you said some really critical things. And I think one of the main things is knowledge of self.
Mhm.
Seeking God, and also with that seeking, looking inward. And so that is very important. I think that not enough of us take that time to sit with ourselves. I know you call it getting your 20 in, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Meditation.
So your
Yeah,
20
yeah, yeah. You got to clear your mind and you got to have something to focus on. But one thing I know for certain, right? A lot of black men in society. I mean, there are some educated men, there's some, real scholars out there, but a lot of these young men these days, I doubt they take at least 30 minutes to sit down and read. Read a book, read something informative to feed their mind, to grow their mind. 30 minutes a day. I guarantee you a lot of them haven't written a plan out, because even the word says, many are the plans of a man's heart, but the Lord will prevail. So that means, I always say, write your plans down, but give God the eraser. That means he may have to erase a couple of things that you written down and say, okay, let's do this instead. Let's go this way instead. I would direct you that way instead. That's trusting. But if you don't have a relationship, how could you trust? If you don't know, how could you actually grow? If you're not studying and applying, how are you going to be able to stand up in this society, in this world as a black man? Because a lot of people actually so entitled this day, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Really, that's not how faith works. Okay. Faith is about what you're willing to give and sacrifice.
All right.
While you're walking in faith.
Yes, sir. So Solomon is commenting again about black men. He said he just doesn't know. I just don't know that our women are tired. I just know that our women are tired of having to hold up the community and the household due to weak black men within their household. Not sure why black men are so broken today. When black women are as strong as they always have been within our community across the country. Black men stand up. The time is now. Where's your mustard seed?
Right. So really and truly, if men don't really start studying, learning, reading, and applying, they're always going to be in a weak stance because now they lose their self-confidence. You're not going to have no self-confidence if you don't have any knowledge. You're not going to have no self-confidence if you're empty. So what are you really, who is the controlling authority of your life? So if it's material things, it's going to be the controlling authority of your life. If it's God himself, it's going to be the controlling authority of your life. If it's women, they are going to be the controlling authority of your life. So that means you are totally out of position because you're not living out your design purpose in life.
So when you say control and authority, in the manner in which you stated it, it causes me to think of idolatry or worship.
Right. Very good, Nicole. It become idolatry. It become a worship because now all of your energy is being sucked into that area. You are given into that area. And what it will profit, nothing. No success is in there. But if we understand our divine purpose within ourselves, it starts with, it's okay, from this day on, we're in the month of June, right? We're in the month of June. We have about 6 more months before the year closes. I would challenge every man, every black man, whoever listen later on, start examining your thoughts. Start examining your thoughts. What are you thinking? What are you saying every single day? Because whatever you're saying every single day, your subconsciousness is going to take it in and absorb it and magnify it. So if you're not changing that into positive, rightful thinking, no matter what's going on in this world, no matter what is taking place, if you don't change that, your intelligence is not going to change. The infinite intelligence is not going to be able to work within you to bring out whatever need to be brought out. Why? Because it starts with faith. As the brother just said a while ago, where's the mustard seed at? Because the mustard seed is the smallest seed, but yet it grows such a humongous tree. Such is your word. Such is your word. But it starts with your thoughts. If you really, really examine, it's nothing external. You don't have to look out in space or think that something got to happen out there in order to happen within you. It starts with your thoughts. It starts with your words. Yes. And as a man thinketh, so is he. In his heart, so is he. Day and night, every single day. We sleep, we're thinking. We wake, we're thinking. But whatever we think in our heart. So now, who is the controlling authority of your heart? Where's your heart at?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that controlling authority is taking place of, that's what's going to control your heart. That's why, yes, I'm talking about the Lord over and over, because he is the controlling authority of our heart. He wants to be the controlling authority of our heart. But guess what he gave us? He gave us a free will. So if we're not going to allow him to be the controlling authority of our heart, guess what? Whatever you manifest, that's what you're going to get.
Indeed. All right.
And that's the power of our word. Poverty and riches is the offspring of thought. I'll say it again. Poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. So tell me where faith starts from. The seed starts from. It starts from your thought. It don't start from nowhere else. It don't start at the big cathedral. It starts from your own thought. Way before you even wake up from that bed.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you think you wake your own self from the bed, but he did. So you have that breath of life within us, that breath of life within yourself. So now, if you don't take that breath of life and acknowledge that breath of life within us, our mind will not expand. And if our mind is not expanding, it's going to close and shut down. And there goes your death into poverty.
So what I'm hearing is perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you may be poor by the world standards, you could consider yourself rich because you have
Go ahead, say the word.
what?
Say the word. Because you have a heart of gratitude.
Yes, you are grateful. You know, are grateful to be alive. You're grateful to be able to breathe and see and taste and smell and touch. You know, may have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
You know, just it may be just simple what we would consider simple things. But you may be very, like you said, grateful. You may have your heart may be filled with gratitude, and so
Yeah, it starts with gratitude. It really does. A healthy thought and healthy thinking, healthy speaking to your own self in words or deed really create a heart of gratitude. And really and truly, it will give you good health, because your own thoughts could make you sick. Your own thoughts could give you health. It's all about what you say before you go to bed at night. So if you don't have a word of affirmation that you speak to your own self at night before you go to sleep, you're really killing your own self.
And what you say in the morning and throughout the day, because
Oh, yes.
the things that we say to others, not only do they hear that, but we hear it as well.
And it's a reflection of our own self.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a reflection of what's going on within our own being.
Right.
But we so blind, we can't see it. So therefore we project it on others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if we take the time to examine our own thoughts, examine our own heart, guess what? Now we start to clean the house.
All right. Sweep around your own front door.
That's right. You
Okay.
know, so
All right.
faith is a state of mind,
Yes.
which by induced by auto suggestion. And where's this auto suggestion? It's in our subconsciousness. So whatever we keep saying, our subconsciousness is going to take it, especially if we say it with feelings and emotions, it
Mhm.
will take it and it will start really constructing it into life form.
Okay. All right. So I think that was part of your recap about faith is a state of mind, which
It is
is
it is a state
induced
of mind.
induced by autosuggestion. Okay.
Hmm.
So I also heard, in terms of keeping the faith, examining your thoughts,
It start with a thought.
examining your thoughts, reading,
Hmm.
meditating,
Hmm.
examining your heart,
Hmm.
and speaking positive affirmation.
Yes. And I think really and truly, the more positive you speak, even though others may say, you always so positive. Oh, you always so joyful. Well, continue being so.
Mm,
Hopefully they'll catch it, but
right.
don't stop it because what it does, it's healing your own being, it's healing your own mind
Mhm.
and opening yourself even up more to love because faith is spirit, love is spirit. When those two walk is actually exhaling together, it's a powerful thing. It really, really bring others together, and you blessing your own self. Why? Because you're really living a real human life now.
Indeed.
You're really exceeding humanity. You know, And it's not about being over spiritual or anything like that. It's actually life. If we start understanding what life is within our own self, now we'll enjoy life no matter what state we may be in.
Mm.
Because there you'll find yourself contentment because you know who's with you,
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel like you're alone
Yes.
and you're lonely, guess what? That's where the crisis come in because now self-confidence goes down.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to start doing, black man, building our own self-confidence, believing in our own self. When you believe in yourself, now you're going to have faith even more, and that is pleasing to God because now you see yourself as a significant person and you have significance in you. So that will make you resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of us have lost our way is learning and not learning the resiliency that really come about in having faith.
All right.
But
All
I
right.
do challenge others to go to I was trying not to break out a whole lot of quotes but go to Hebrews chapter 11.
Oh, scripture, you mean? Okay.
Right. Go to Hebrews chapter 11 and read the history and what was commended to these men of faith.
Uh,
Because you see, when you have faith, now it's commended to you because now you see the result of faith.
mm-hmm.
But believe me, it starts with your thought.
Yes.
Your bank account is with your thoughts.
Yes. So thank you, Ozzie. So Vanessa, you are doing exactly what I was about to ask everybody to do, um, which is I want us to give a word of faith to the black men, everybody, but black men and women, whoever is on the live watching, on Facebook and on YouTube in the comments. So Vanessa said she wants us to stop calling ourselves broke.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we can say I'm overcoming a cash flow problem. We
Mm-hmm.
are thriving in abundance. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I want you all to give a word of faith to the black men. Give a word of faith to the black men. If you could just give them a word of encouragement, what would it be? What would it be? So Maya was saying she loves Hebrews 11. Great example there. So in the comments, if you all would, before we get ready to wrap it up, give a word of encouragement as it relates to faith to the black men in your lives, black men on this live, black men, in the community. Give a word of encouragement in the comments, if you would, please. A word of encouragement. Now, Ozzie, you've given lots of words tonight of encouragement. Again, I will just kind of recap by saying, encouraging men, black men, to examine their thoughts, to read, to meditate, to examine their hearts, to speak words of positive affirmation, and also just remembering that faith is a state of mind. Faith is a state of mind.
You know,
Poverty and riches are the offspring of thoughts.
yes, it is.
Mm,
And you know, Dr. Martin Luther King, he once said, take the first step, even though you don't may not see the whole staircase. Take
mm,
that first step by faith, you
indeed.
know, and that's how it starts. You know, whatever you want to accomplish in life, you know, whether you want to go back to school, get that book and that skill that you want to achieve. And I
Mhm.
guarantee you, God will help you get you there because it starts from within you,
Yes.
you know. So, but if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will believe in you,
Hmm.
you know.
Yes. Thank you. Maya said, I would have to say, let your faith be bigger than your fears. Yes, Maya, love that.
Absolutely.
Love it,
Absolutely.
love it,
Thank
love it.
you.
Solomon said, be the change you want to see. Faith, hope, wishes, and desires without works is dead. Yes.
That's
Thank
right.
you, Solomon. Love it.
All right,
Love
Solomon.
it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else out there? Okay, mom said, be of good faith. You are
Mm,
never alone. Gain
mm.
knowledge from the word and you will increase. Yes.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Good word. Good word. Thank you. Thank you, mom, for sharing that. All right. Ozzy, I know you have said a lot. Any final words you want to give?
Well, keep the faith and stand firm in all that you do. Be confident in what you do. Believe in yourself in what you do. And whatever you don't know, seek knowledge. Whatever you don't understand, seek it and you will find it. You know, as one of my quotes that I usually live by, and I said that from the time I was 14 years old, and I live by it. That is my own motto, my own motivation, my own way of living till this day from 14 years old. And that's Proverb 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing. So therefore, get wisdom. Although it may cost you all that you may have, get understanding. Because you see, when you understand a thing, you will not be moved by anything because now you could stand firm and be resilient.
All right. Y'all heard it. Amen. I love it, Ozzy. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. That was a good
Oh,
word. Keisha said, in this 21 days of fasting, I asked God how to get a miracle breakthrough. The answer came on TBN in 2 days. Set the atmosphere of worship and have an intimate encounter. Set
wow.
the atmosphere of
Yes,
worship
indeed.
and have an intimate encounter. Thank you for
And as she said that, Psalms 91 reflected in my mind, you know, yes, you know, you got to get into that secret place.
Yep, yep. No, that's all good stuff.
Hmm.
Ozzy, thank you so much for helping us close out
The
June.
month of June.
We're not all the way done. We actually have one more topic on Wednesday. Dr. B is going to be on talking about becoming Baba, black manhood, fatherhood. And so it's going to be a great discussion. I actually was on a Zoom with him yesterday talking about maternal and paternal health.
Mm.
But yeah, I know I appreciate you so much and look forward to next month. I don't know, we're going to cover, but looking forward to it, whatever it is.
Yes, and the greatest thing about faith and all mysteries, and being analyzed up to now, science cannot even phantom to figure out how it is done. And I telling you the truth, faith is much more than we think it is, so we have to really get deep within understanding the depth of our spirit within our own mind so we could actually blossom and be even much more in depth within our own self. But the key to faith also is humility.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for this topic of keeping the faith, inviting you all to subscribe to Conversations with Nicole on YouTube if you have not done so already. Please share this. Let's keep this conversation going. Let's encourage our Black men and women to tap into faith and, do all the things that we discussed tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tap in within yourself
Tap
and
in.
have a good night.
Yes, and have a good night. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you.
All right. Be blessed, everyone. Take care.